Are live, right? So this is where we are in California, right after AB5. This is what they were pushing for in California to turn us into employees, so we could get the benefits and the health care and the overtime pay and the rights and the voice and right? And we ended up here. Now in the UK, baby, they have this category, right? This category called worker. We don't have that in the United States, right? And this is what we need to push for. Now, we're not going to get this in California, but we need to create this hybrid, this in-between category, like they did in the UK, that keeps us as independent contractors. It's the best of both worlds, folks. This is the best of both worlds, and that is why the UK is so much further than we are. And I've been preaching this in all my videos. This is where we need to be, right? In between here. So you get all the employee benefits. You're still an independent contractor. You can drive at 2 a.m. in the morning. You can drive at 6 a.m. You can drive in the afternoon. You don't have to drive at all, right? And you get your minimum hourly wage. You get your holiday time. You get your health plan, right? And this is what we need to push for. My friends, I'm going to switch around because I want to face the music. I want to face the music. Here's the music. Got a little distracted there. Distracted. Tom Young's in the house. Sherelle's in the house. Anthony's in the house. And Tom says UK are ignoring the court ruling, so nothing will change. Slavery continues. Now, Tom, this was the Supreme Court that slammed them down. And Uber is notorious for ignoring laws. But ignoring laws and not following judges' orders or Supreme Court judges' orders will have severe impact. So the arrogance, the Travis Kalanick, Dara Khosrowshahi arrogance, Tom, will be shut down and they will comply. Whether you like it or not. So they may temporarily be ignoring it, but the Uber UK court cases have not favored Tony West or Dara. They've been shut down, shut down, shut down. So I don't like to call any gig workers slaves, right? I would say the shenanigans continue, but not for very long. Mohammed's in the house, Fred White's in the house. So this is really where we need to get. And the only way you get to this middle ground, right, like they have in the UK, this ruling, a hybrid version between these two, independent contractor and employee, is if you go and fight for it. That means you put the pressure on the senators, that you put the pressure on the Congress, you put your pressure on the legislators, you put the pressure on the mayors, the governors. Hey, if the UK has that, and you got to turn to social media, it's not really that difficult, right? And you got to start the lawsuits, but just sit back, right? Just sit back and think it's going to come your way. No, it's not. They are going to be more proactive than you. They are going to try and change the law in every state, in every city, in every country, because they have seen that when the Uber drivers take the matters to the court, as they did in the UK, they get slapped down, right? And again, we're not going to achieve this in California because there has been a ruling, right? So Tom Young says, even if you have the hybrid version in America, it means nothing if Uber only pay minimum wage for the I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you because not following the law ultimately has serious consequences. So it's up to you to implement new laws, to push for new laws in states, right? They pushed for a new law in California called AB5. They squashed AB5. They called it Proposition 22, and they got it, right? And that's law. Had it gone the other way, they would have had to comply. So I don't agree with that statement at all of Tom Young, right? And that first statement, I don't agree with either. You say UK, they're ignoring the court ruling, so nothing will change. It will change. You're not going to continue to ignore the Supreme Court, right? You'll never drive in that country again. They'll just shut you down and it'll be back to taxis. So you gotta put up a fight, buddy. I see you in surrender mode, Tom Young. Prove me wrong. Anthony Wilhide, what is a fair price rate increase for riders that will keep them using the platform? I do believe that there is another 15-20% wiggle room that can be tagged on for the rider, and they wouldn't really bark, they wouldn't really moan, right? Because they're being so spoiled. It's the problem is that the gig companies are taking it away on the driver's side. They're too scared to add it on to the rider side, right? So now, Uber's decision on March 17 to reclassify approximately 70,000 Uber rides drivers in the UK as workers, a step closer to what US businesses would consider employees and away from the independent contractor category, was not unexpected. But it leaves plenty of unanswered questions for the rideshare community on both sides of the Atlantic. Now, if you look at their stock price, which is down to, I want to say, wow, it's down to $52, right? Because I think the markets, or this is what's been written, the markets see, okay, well, this is what happened in the UK. This is going to have a ripple effect, and it will have a ripple effect, right? This victory in the UK, this decision, this reclassification will have a ripple effect in multiple countries and multiple states. Not California, unfortunately, because Uber and Lyft got a victory, right? But countries will be looking at the UK case and they'll say, you know, we need money. We're not getting any money from Uber and Lyft. They're using the highways, the byways, the freeways, the off-roads, the cul-de-sacs. We're not getting any money. So how did the UK rule on Uber? Guess what? They made them workers. They put them in that hybrid model, right? Which means Uber has to pay in. The state, the country should not be bailing them out for the health benefits. No, Uber should be paying in. You should be getting your holiday time. You should be getting your health benefits. You should be getting your minimum wage. And it doesn't mean that you have to be stamped or classified as an employee. You can, the states, the countries have the power to create that new category, to create that hybrid category, to update the old archaic system, right? We just have two tiers in the United States. Well, you're either an independent contractor or you're an employee. The UK is way, way further. They have that hybrid, that worker classification. Truly, truly the best of both worlds. Kay Tarzan's in the house. He says, yo, yo, yo. Gary Georges is in the house. Uber stock was 54 yesterday. Yep, it's down to 52 today. Now, let me just quickly see update on escrow here. The decision by the global ride-hailing giant followed a February ruling by the UK Supreme Court holding a lower court's decision that said drivers were entitled to a minimum wage while working for Uber. The minimum wage in the United Kingdom is the equivalent of $12.22 per hour in the United States. Writing for the Evening Standard in the UK, Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi admitted that the decision to reclassify the workers was not an easy one for the company, which has built itself as a platform for drivers to work when they want and where they want. Okay, give me 1 second. So our thinking on this issue has evolved over time, and I will be the first to admit that we've struggled to identify solutions that work for Uber and for those who earn on our platform, he wrote on March the 17th. Following last month's UK Supreme Court ruling, we could have continued to dispute drivers' rights to any of these protections in court. Instead, we have decided to turn the page. Beginning today, Uber drivers in the UK will be treated as workers, right? Paul Figueroa in the house. Yeah, legs making slow progress. Thank you for asking. Interestingly, Uber Eats employees in the country are not impacted by the decision. It is also unclear what the Supreme Court ruling and the Uber's subsequent decision mean for other app-based companies in the country. British law firm Darwin Gray said Uber's decision could impact the entire gig economy in the United Kingdom. And I think it's going to impact the entire gig economy all across the world, because people are going to be looking at that ruling and thinking, yeah, we can change things, and we should change things, and we should create this hybrid category. And it doesn't necessarily have to be called workers, but there could be a new classification so that it's a win-win-win. A win for the country or the city, a win for the workers, and, you know, it's a compromise for the gig companies. Private Platinum's in the house, Craig's in the house, Paul's in the house. Anthony says getting the benefits, yes, without affecting a pay, and the unions there, 2 paychecks. One that is a take-home package, and then the other package is called the benefit package. Rideshare Road Warrior Rick is in the house. Please review, as I just came into the chat. Cool. Awesome. Let me just give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm all right. The ramifications of this judgment extend much further than Uber, however, and will affect all businesses involved in the gig economy, the firm wrote in a blog. It will likely lead to significant shifts in the way the gig economy operates in the short term. In the longer term, it may lead to new legislation. That's what I'm talking about. New legislation. That's what we got to push for. Too late in California, but completely doable in other states and other countries. We've got to push for new legislation that benefits the workers. Jay Mills is in the house. Now, we're not talking employee. You got to get with the program here. We're not pushing, we're not even talking about employee. We're talking about that hybrid middle category where you are an independent contractor and you have all the rights and privileges of an employee. It's a hybrid version between both. So there's no mention whatsoever, Jay Mills, that we're talking about making people employees. It will likely lead to significant shifts in the way the gig economy operates in the short term. In the longer term, it may lead to new legislation in this area of employment law to enshrine more concrete definitions of the legal concepts of workers and employees. As gig economy companies in the UK come to grips with the fallout from Uber's decision, there is discussion about whether the new approach could impact Uber's operations in North America. There are, however, significant differences between UK and US employment laws, specifically the classification of employees. Gondwan's in the house. Let me just check here. As gig economy companies in the UK come to grips with the fallout from Uber's decision, there are discussions about whether the new approach could impact Uber's operations in North America. There are, however, significant differences between the UK and the US employment laws, specifically the classification of employees. In the UK, there are three employment classifications: employee, worker, and independent contractor. Workers are self-employed individuals but are entitled to certain benefits such as being paid under national living wage provisions, as well as earning holiday pay and pensions. The court also gave much needed guidance on the distinctions between workers and self-employed contractors, emphasizing that the contractual paperwork put in place should not be the only consideration. The factual reality of how the parties' relationship works is just as important. The Darwin Gray blog noted Uber had exercised a significant amount of control over its drivers, and the relationship was not even-handed. This should not have been the case if the drivers were genuinely self-employed. The UK's worker status is a unique classification that allows us to provide more benefits and protections to drivers while maintaining the number one thing they want: to work flexibility without predetermined shifts. The spokesman said, in the United States, we are actively engaging with state governments on modernized laws that would allow companies like Uber to do just this. In a white paper issued in August, Uber shared its ideas on how to enhance the quality of independent work. At the time the document was published, Uber, DoorDash were involved in trying to pass Proposition 22 in California, which would exempt their drivers from the state's more restrictive AB5 regulation. The rule passed in the November election. Kanka's in the house. Good afternoon. How are you doing, my friend? Just juggling a lot of balls here. So in the white paper, Uber suggested contributing funds to individual drivers who could apply them toward the benefits that matter most to them. It also suggested providing occupational accident insurance and working to ensure drivers are paid fast and potential earnings are transparent, among other investments. While digital apps and platforms have been and continue to be powerful forces for creating economic opportunity, it is clear that more should be done to improve the quality and security of platform work, the paper said. The current health and economic crisis has brought into sharp focus the need for everyone, regardless of their employment status, to be able to find good quality, rewarding work, be able to work in the way they choose, and have access to adequate social protections and benefits. What those protections and benefits should be continues to be debated. In the meantime, the future of the work in the United States for gig workers is unlikely to be directly affected by Uber's UK decision, but does add another twist to the employee classification battle. There's really no technical precedent value of what they did in the UK, said Bill Audit, an attorney with a California-based law firm, Audit & Partners. However, would I cite it in a footnote somewhere? Sure. Audit has represented and continues to represent Uber drivers in arbitration claims, but he told Modern Shipper the decision would likely have little impact on Uber's business in the United States. I don't believe that. I think if the United States and if legislators and lawyers and law firms and senators and Congress look at the UK verdict, they think, okay, this is a great idea. We create this hybrid, we actually make some money for our city or for our state. So he says here it will have little impact on Uber's business in the United States. I don't agree with that. I just think it's a great start, but when it comes to the US and particularly California, I just know that the fact that they did it in the UK will not make any difference to Uber, he said. The company is really focused on keeping the value up of the company, and in my view, to the detriment of the gig drivers. Other legal currents within the US are expected to have an impact, however. In January, the New York Supreme Court ruled in the matter of Lowry decision that Uber drivers are employees and therefore entitled to unemployment insurance. Writing for the National Law Review, attorney Kevin J. Smith, special counsel in the labor and employment and litigation practice groups for law firm Shepherd Mullins, said the ruling, while limited, foreshadows future decisions involving gig economy workers. Courts and state labor agencies across the United States have been struggling with similar worker classification issues for gig economy workers, he wrote. While the matter of Lowry decision represents a small victory for rideshare drivers in upstate New York, the classification battle is not ending anytime soon, Smith added. In light of this decision and the passage of Proposition 22 in California, we expect classification issues to remain at the forefront of employment and labor law concerns, particularly in the gig economy. So the question here was, will the US Uber drivers benefit from UK reclassification decision? I would argue yes. In the long term, absolutely. If drivers bring the fight to Uber, if they engage attorneys, if they take cases to Supreme Court in different states, they can get the same outcome, and that is push for a hybrid. Prior to the Proposition 22, every single video that I made, I was saying what we need is a hybrid. In the UK, they have the hybrid, which is basically the best of both worlds, right? You remain an independent contractor, you get all the freedoms, you can drive when you want, on what day you want, what hour you want, you have all the flexibility in the world, but you also have those employee benefits, healthcare, 401k, holidays, your workers' rights, a voice at the table, right? So we just have to fight for it. We cannot be lazy. We got to get up and fight for that status. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to keep it to the 25-minute mark. I've got some cool videos coming out today and tomorrow. Tonight at 8 p.m. I have, the crazy Uber girl, Anna Kimai. I got a video of her driving at 122 miles per hour. It's quite a laugh. Go and watch it tonight at 8 p.m. I wish you all a great day. Please chime in on the topic and hit that like button if you can, right? Hit that like button. And let's get it up. Got it on 8 now. Let's get it at least to 10. We're 20 people in the house. Let's push it up. Smash that like button. There we go. We're on 9. Thank you. Somebody just came in with a like. And uno por favor. Thank you very much. Eins bitte. Un s'il vous plaît. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a fantastic day and stay safe, folks. Have a good one.